Evet. ABC Cinayetleri, Agatha Christie bölüm 3'te C cinayetlerinde bakalım katil bize ne tür bir oyun hazırlamış. En son yine mektubu okumakta kalmıştık. Bakalım okuyalım.
In his haste, Hastings tore the envelope.
Hastings parçalamış anlaşılan. Zarf parçası. Zarfta yazan adres yanlış adres. Katil beyaz at malikanesi yazmış. Bu bir hata mı? Belki de. Ne yazsın? Katilin mektubunu bulunduran zarfiyette ancak keşke yere atmasaydı.
Poor Mr. Poirot. Not so good at these little criminal matters as you thought yourself, are you? Rather past your prime, perhaps? Let us see if you can do any better this time. This time it is an easy one. Just on the 30th. Do try and do something about it. It is a bit dull having it all my own way, you know. Good
ABC.
hunting. Ever yours, ABC.
ABC'den gelen 3. mektup 30 Ağustos. Charleston'daki suçu işaret ediyor. Maalesef mektup elimize çok geç ulaştı. Yeni harfi ABC'deki diğer harflerle karşılaştı. Denetim masasına, dedektif masasına ara. Gel bakalım karşılaştıralım.
It is not a good time. Daily Flicker, July 30, 1935. ABC affair, no progress. The alphabet murderer is still on the run. Ever since the police found the connection between the Bexhill and Andover affairs, the inquiry has barely progressed. In this issue, we are publishing provocative letters sent by the killer to Hercule Poirot. Unfortunately, they have not yet helped to find him. Daily Flicker, July the 26th, 1935. The Bexhill Horror. Young maid strangled on the beach. Killer struck at midnight.
Evet. Kitaptan mı yapıyorduk bunu? Hayır. Tıklayarak olmuyor. Diğer mektupları karşılaştığında masadan oluyordu
Pour
sanki.
Mr. Poirot.
It, see, Charleston. Arkasını mı dönüyor acaba? Arkasını mı döndürelim? Yok arkasını bir şey. Masaya işaret etmen lazım. Şuradan bakıyorduk mektuplara.
Hastings' photo album. He is very proud of his bag.
Niye Hastings'e vurgu yapıyor sürekli acaba? Yani içimden bir ses cinayetlerin altından Hastings çıkacakmış gibi duruyor ama.
Bexhill-on-Sea, Sussex. Population 24,703.
Ego kastık da şey Söylesen keşke ya. Notları nasıl inceliyorduk? Burada tanıkların notları var. Yeni harfi ABC'deki diğer harflerle karşılaştır. O harfleri bulamıyorum. Nereden olabilir acaba?
I lock my revolver in this drawer. I've not used it in a very long time. It is not a good time.
Ya nasıl iyi bir vakit değil ya. Ego kastık yine. Ara dedektif
Hello, chap.
masası, ne yapalım?
We received a new letter from ABC in the 10 o'clock post.
Where and when?
In Cheston. Today.
Today? I'll inform the population immediately.
I'll check the train times. Call me back.
Demek ki önce aramak lazım.
It is not a good
İyi
time.
vakit değil abi. Poirot tam bir gıcıksın ya. Yeni harfi ABC'deki diğer harflerle karşılaştır.
Pour Mr. Poirot.
Şimdi daha oyunun başını bizi böyle oyaladıysa
It is not a good time. Ah, some cool hair.
oyunun ciddi bir dalga geçme mekanizması var. Başka bir şey değil yani.
Hastings, what you are doing is an absolute disaster. That is no way to pack suitcases.
Heavens, we must hurry. We have to get to Cheston before the murder.
Hastings' order and method are always necessary, regardless of the circumstances.
Okay, okay. I'll let you pack them.
All the same, it really is a disgrace to leave your belongings in such a mess.
Korunmasız şeyler. Garip çoraplar. Yamuk kapatılmış diş macunu. Öylesine katlamış pijamalar. Banyo havlusu.
Voila. It only took a minute.
Poirot, you were right. I've just consulted the ABC guide. There's no hurry. The next train doesn't leave till 11:45.
You see, there is no need to hurry. We will not be in Cheston until tomorrow morning, after the murder.
But why has the murderer warned us so late? It's not what he usually does. Did he do it on purpose?
Very good question, Hastings. We should also compare the letter we have just received with the other two.
Hikaye demek ki
Although I have
aklından
very
vermiyor
little
şu an.
doubt about what we will find.
Okey. Hadi eşleştirelim. Kar tanesi.
Right, let us compare this new letter with the second one. Let us examine this more closely. Certain characters in the two letters may have similar defects. Yes, this
Bir sen alta gel şimdi Poirot.
I don't see anything in particular.
Bir Poirot bir sal burayı. Heh.
Yes, the I characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects.
W var mı burada?
I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
W yok. E var. Unchosen'ın C'si var.
Let us examine the characters in... Right. Let us compare this. Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual.
Buradan biz C'den gidiyorduk.
Right. Let us compare this with the other. That's right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
Clock ama bu work. W. Burada W yazmış. Churchton üzerinden gitmemiz lazım. B var. Burada backseal, burada B vurgusu var mı? Yok. Ha, W var. Gördüm W.
The W is not printed
En altta 3
properly.
tane basmış.
Right. Let us compare this with the other. Of course, the W characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. My theory was right. These two letters were written with the same typewriter.
Evet.
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Kağıtta bizi neden bu kadar geciktirdi? C harfi doğru tarihte gönderildi. Bir şişe beyaz at viskisi, yanlış adrese gönderilmiş bir zarf parçası, ABC kılavuzu, cep basına detayları açıklamaya karar verdi. A alfabe kartili artık ünlü. Mektup adresteki bir hata nedeniyle geç geldi.
The letter should have arrived in time. The postmark shows that it was sent 3 days ago. However, our man made a mistake in the address, which explains the delay. All the same, the post office took their time correcting the error.
Come on, Poirot. Your address is not quite as well known as that of Scotland Yard. Poirot, the telephone. It must be Jap.
Hadi gidelim. Alo?
I have some news from Churchton. Bad news, I'm afraid. Sir Carmichael Clark was murdered while out on his evening walk.
Sir Carmichael Clark. The name is familiar to me.
He was a famous throat specialist, one of the best in London. A wealthy man, he retired to Combside, a beautiful house by the sea. He collected antiques.
Are you going there?
Yes, let's meet on the train.
Hadi buluşalım. Olay yerini incele. Homicide Clark'ın mekanı. Tarihi görevli.
The victim is called Sir Carmichael Clark, one of the best throat specialists in London. The body was still warm when we found it. If we'd been warned earlier, we definitely could have saved him.
It appears that the murderer made a mistake when he wrote his letter.
A mistake? Lucky for him.
And what if he did it on purpose?
No. He's defined his madcap rules and he's sticking to them. It's a matter of pride for him. Shall we go up to the house, Poirot?
You go, my friends. I will come soon.
Önce bir inceleyelim cesedi. Sonrasında gideriz. Polis şefi boyu Marshal Mustake.
Jap has emptied the victim's pockets and has laid out their contents on this piece of wax cloth.
Bir anahtar. Bir anahtardan fazlası. Anahtarlara tıklanmıyor mu?
It is pointless.
Anlamsız. Cep saati.
An oriental dragon. It's an
6'ya
old
20
piece.
geçiyor. Ya da
Much
4'e
older than the
4'müş.
pocket watch on which it was fastened.
Pasaport, paralar.
Nothing appears to be missing from this wallet.
Bu nedir? Monsieur.
A signet ring, very probably with the Clark family's coat of arms.
Şu ağaçlara bir bakalım.
This place is very calming.
İlginç bir taş. Tavşan deliği.
The site is exceptional. It is easy to imagine that Sir Carmichael used to enjoy stopping here every evening.
O zaman buraya geldiğini katil de biliyordu.
The body is just in front of a bush. One of the only bushes in the surrounding area. Sir Carmichael's throat was cut. It's a clean incision, a professional murder. The gravel on the path has been sprayed with blood that covers a conical-shaped area, which starts at the body and becomes wider as it moves further from the bush.
O zaman adamla göz göze geldi bunu yaparken.
An ABC guide. The murderer's customary signature, covered in blood this time. Apart from the wound to the throat, the body is untouched. No cuts, no bruises.
Boğaz ve akciğer koşullarında uzmanlaşmış emekli bir doktor. Yaklaşık 60 yaşında Çeşitli'nde. Olay yerini inceleyin. Buraya gidemiyoruz. Şurada bir şey var.
The vegetation behind the bush has been trampled. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Öldürüldüğünde Sir Carmichael'ın durumu neydi? Sir Carmichael'ın Clark ailesinin armasını taşıyan bir bisiklet. Ceset civardaki tek çalın önünde duruyordu. Ceset hala sıcaktı. Kanla kirlenmiş bölge çalıda doğruzuna kronik bir şekilde kaplanmıştı. Sir Carmichael sırtını çalıklara döndü.
Sir Carmichael had his back to the bush when the killer cut his throat from behind. A fatal blow that sprayed blood over a range of more than 1 meter. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Kurban sırtının çalıklara dönmüştü. Kurbanın sadece bir yarısı vardı. Çalının arkasındaki çimen, çiğnenmiş çimen ve Sir Carmichael onu kimin vurduğunu görmeden öldü.
Have you finished, Poirot?
Chief Inspector, many questions remain unanswered, but I am certain of one thing.
Katil bir fırsatçı, cinayet ince detaylarla planlanmış. Bence bir fırsatçı.
The killer is a daring opportunist. He met Sir Carmichael at nightfall on this deserted path and took advantage of the situation.
Impossible. You forget the trampled grass behind the bush.
Tüh, yanlış
Ah,
verdik
c'est
seçimi.
vrai. It proved that he was waiting for his victim.
Quite right. He must have known Sir Carmichael's movements
Ya
well
ben
to
de
plan
fırsat
such an
derken
attack.
çalının arkasına saklanıp fırsatını kolluyor anlamında dedim ya. Hırsızlık cinayet için bir hazırlık olabilir. Cinayet çok başlıcaydı. Hırsızlık cinayet için bir hazırlık olabilir. O ne demek lan? Ne anlamsız cümle bu? Hırsızlık cinayet için bir hazırlık olabilir. Hırsızlık cinayet ikisi yan yana gelecek kelimeler değil ki bunlar.
The murderer struck with terrible savagery.
Yes, blood flowed. It's the first time he's attacked a man. He armed himself accordingly.
Have you spoken to the victim's family, Chief Inspector?
I've spoken to the brother, Franklin Clark. I didn't get much out of him. He's yours. I must get the body removed.
Gidelim.
To be honest, this inspector seems rather obtuse. I'm counting on your friend Poirot to catch my brother's murderer. Ah, here he is now. Please, Mr. Poirot. Mr. Poirot, this is my brother's secretary, Miss Thora Gray.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Poirot. Would you like some tea?
No, thank you, mademoiselle. I find it hard to digest. It is not the right time. It is not the right time. Hastings does not like very hot tea. He's going to blow on his cup for a good while before drinking. There is something very viril about him.
Geniş omuzlar. İyi bağlanmış kravat.
Franklin Clark is an adventurer, the sort of man that women like. There is something elegant about her.
Eski bir broş. Abartılı makyaj. İyi
She
dikilmiş
has
mükemmel
good
bir
taste,
ceket.
except perhaps in her choice of jewelry.
Please excuse me, I have to take care of Lady Clark.
It is not the right. Hastings does.
My brother's wife is gravely ill. You will probably want to question her, but I fear that it won't be possible today.
Neden? Lady Clark'la konuşturmamaya çalıştığı için onu suçlu cesaret anlayışlı ol.
Rather just say that you do not want her to testify.
You don't seem to realize her condition. She doesn't even know he's dead.
Tedirgin.
Sorry, but it's not possible.
Of course, I understand. Someone set a trap for your brother. Who was familiar with his habits?
Everybody knew he took his evening walk at 8:30, and that he always followed the same path.
Hava karanlık mıydı? En sevdiği kitabı sor.
Was it a dark night?
It was a new moon. I took a lantern.
So it was you who found the body.
Yes, along with the gardener.
Have you seen any strangers around the house recently?
Saat 8:30 hava
No.
karanlık oldu. Ne
As far as I know, nobody has been near the house.
Miss Clark.
Oh, Lady Clark must have fallen from her chair. I have to help Miss Gray get her up.
Birlikte gidelim. Ben de eve
Hastings,
alışacağım abi.
while our host is gone, let's examine the drawing room.
But, Poirot, a gentleman shouldn't...
I take full responsibility. All you have to do is to leave the drawing room door ajar and let me know if anyone is coming.
Tam tur attı masanın etrafında.
A turtle. A tiger. A crane?
Hayvanlardan oluşan bir tabak.
A dragon. Dragon, dragon, dragon. Sir Carmichael showed himself to be very consistent in his collection's theme. Comside's private collection, purchases since 1920. The catalogue for Sir Carmichael Clark's collection. It is an emperor. His place at the center of the table is probably symbolic. I'm not going to leave now.
O zaman yürü şöyle. Fikir. Yine geldik puzzle'a değil mi?
Turtle, the dragon, the crane and the tiger. I think I've already seen this
Masadaki
motif
şey
somewhere.
diyor. Solda turna vardı. Ama nasıl duruyordu? Burada turna vardı. Yok, bende ejderha vardı. Bunda kaplan. Abi de renkleri mi varmış bunun? Oo. Hiç dikkat etmedim ona. Doğru, geri dönelim o zaman.
The cardinal points. This
Ha
book
bak, burada
could
da
maybe
başlar
help me.
şeyi.
Each cardinal point is associated with one animal and one color. In the middle sits the
Etrafındaki
imperial
sayılandı, ona
dragon,
dönmüştü
and out
bunlar.
of respect, all the others are turned towards him.
Tamam, mantığı anladık. Sol mavi, aşağı siyah, yukarısı kırmızı, sağ beyaz. Sol mavi, aşağısı. Lan kırmızı niye gitti? Siyah niye gitti buraya? Ha bir de bunun üst tabakası var. Oo. Ama hepsi şeye bakıyor, en azından onu anladık. Hepsi ejderhaya bakıyor. Tabii böyle ejderhaya bakıyor mu? Bakıyor. Önemli olan şu çubuk. Tamam, şimdi renkler ayarlamak lazım. Mavi, kırmızı, siyah, beyaz. Beyaz. Alt taraf siyah. Ama bu üst tarafı ayarlıyor. Sol taraf mavi, yukarısı kırmızı. Beyaza beyaz oldu aslında. Siyaha siyah mı olmak zorunda? Tamam, siyah siyah. Kırmızıya kırmızı. Ya da maviye mavi, pardon. Sol taraf mavi istiyordu. Mavi, kırmızıya kırmızı oldu. Oldu. Hepsi kırmızıya kırmızı, beyaza beyaz, maviye mavi, siyah siyah. Niye olmadı? Şeyler mi yanlış? Bende dragon vardı. Altta turna, burada kaplan, burada kaplumbağa. Olmuş olması lazım. Niye olmadı? Çok da güzel yaptım yani. Neyse, ipucu kullanayım.
The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table. I think I heard a bang.
Hayvanlar yanlış.
Could it be this cupboard?
Ama doğru yerleştik. Mantığı yaptık.
This is interesting.
Samuray boyu. Bir tane kılıç eksik.
These daggers are only ceremonial weapons. I do not think that the crime weapon is here.
Mektupta ne varmış?
Ernest Logan, MD, Brighton Cancer Institute, 201 Dusk Road, Brighton, Sussex. To Sir Carmichael Clark, MD, Comside Churton, Devon. Brighton, 1935, January the 5th. As a man of science, I owe it to you to be completely frank. Lady Clark, your wife is suffering from a generalized terminal cancer. I confess I didn't suspect anything like that during the first exams. But with the test results I have received today, there is unfortunately no place for doubt. I estimate that Lady Clark's life expectancy is no more than 1 year. Hospitalization would not help in her case, so I advise you to keep her at home and provide her with as much morphine as required to ease her last moments. Yours sincerely, Ernest Logan.
Kendin doktor ol ama karın kanserden gitsin, değil mi? Üzücü.
Here's Miss Grey.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Lady Clark's condition requires regular care. I believe you want to ask me a few questions.
Indeed, mademoiselle. This porcelain is remarkable. Is it old?
It's about 3 centuries old, I believe. Wait, let me find the reference.
Artı 10 ego puanı, süper.
She appears to be very flustered.
Kısmen silinmiş ruh. Acaba neden silindi? Hızlı soluk alıp verme.
Just a minute, please,
Parlak
Mr. Poirot.
yollar.
She's unable to hide her emotion, and her makeup has been
Evet.
disturbed.
Az
I
önce
think that this
düşündüm.
young woman has just been kissed.
Here. Teapot with Black Dragon, Gangshi period, end of the 17th century.
You have a good knowledge of art history.
Acquired while working with Sir Carmichael. I used to help him manage his collection and choose his new acquisitions.
Başka şeylere de yardımcı olmuş anlaşılan. Patronuyla olan ilişkisinde yaşlı bir adam hizmetinde olduğu için utanç duyduğunu sor.
Did you have a good relationship with your employer?
He treated me well, and I am sorry for his death.
Have you seen any strangers hanging around in the past few days?
No. Nobody has been near Comside.
Cinayet anında nerede olduğunu sor.
What were you doing yesterday evening at the time of the murder?
I was sleeping. I was woken by the telephone at 11. I heard Franklin Clark speaking with the gardener. They left with some lanterns and they found the body.
Frank hakkındaki düşünce Frank'le karşı olan isteğine, Frank'le karşı olan tiksinmesini sebebini sor. Ne alaka tiksiniyor lan?
Am I right thinking that something is going on between you and Franklin?
How dare you ask me such a question?
Franklin'i öpmekle suçlar.
Mademoiselle, it is difficult to hide things from me. He kissed you earlier, did he not?
My goodness, with Sir Carmichael's death, I was feeling so awful, so worried. I was unable to resist.
I am not judging you, mademoiselle.
Miss Grey, if I may be so bold, please do not take offence. My friend has rather unusual methods, but all he wants is to find the murderer.
Yes, I understand. I must rest. Please excuse me.
Earlier, you asked me to watch the living room door for you. I don't wish to be indiscreet, but sometimes a gentleman stumbles upon a secret without intending to.
That is sometimes the case.
And I saw Franklin Clark kissing Miss Grey at the foot of the stairs.
Do you think this is a common occurrence?
No, I saw emotion, intensity. I think it was their first kiss.
Well done, mon ami. Well spotted.
However, I don't think I completely understand this business. Why did Sir Carmichael not defend himself? He appeared to have been active and strong.
The murderer did not give him a chance. Let us try and reconstruct the scene.
Deneyelim.
Sir Clark is taking his customary walk. Our killer is hiding behind a bush.
Bekle.
The old man walks quietly along the gravel path.
Manzara diyor.
Then he turns towards the sea to gaze at it.
Sağdan saldır, soldan saldır. Ha. Bu dikkat etmedim buna. Bir boğazı kessen nasıl fışkırtı yakar? Soldan saldırsan olmaz. Sağdan saldırsan olur. Soldan tutarsın tık. Tamam.
The killer leaves his hiding place on the right-hand side. He approaches silently over the grass.
Boğazını kes.
Then he throws himself on his prey and cuts the poor man's throat. He then lays down the ABC before leaving. Everything appears to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
Evet, yeniden canlanma başarılı. Katilimiz bu mu?
Oh, just a minute. I'm getting dressed.
Bonaparte Ghost. Vaa, katilin gözüne geldik. Şimdi bir de onun gözünden mi oynayacağız cinayetleri? Öyle bir şey olursa var ya, efsane olur.
Mr. Kirst, have you recently returned from Churston?
Yes, indeed I have.
Have you seen the papers? And to think that you might have rubbed shoulders with the killer. Imagine that. Mr. Cust, are you all right? You don't seem well.
My apologies. My throat is burning and my head feels heavy. It's ever since the war, you know. Since my injury, my head has never been the same.
Katilimiz Alexander Bonaparte Köt. Wow. Sürprize buna denir işte.
Poirot, it's a pleasure to be with you again after all these years. I looked for a gift to thank you, and I found this propelling pencil.
An authentic collector's item. You spoil me, mon ami.
And you more so by sharing investigations.
Do not underestimate the help you are to me, Hastings. Intellect is not everything. There is also goodwill, and you are not short of that. Later, I will ask you to help me tidy up the room and bring some chairs. Our guest will be here soon.
Ah, is Thora Grey coming?
Naturally. She is a fascinating young woman, n'est-ce pas?
Oh, come on, Poirot. I'm a married man. Miss Grey has already been courted by Franklin Clark. Poirot, our guests will be here soon. We must prepare ourselves.
Hadi hazırlanalım. Ne yapmamız gerekiyor? Oha.
I should take advantage of the silence to examine them.
Özelleştirilen nesneler de kullanmak için envanterin nesneyi seçip simge tıkla bunu ancak özelleştirme müsait olduğunu kullanırız. Secret Art Pencil Muş'taki soruşturma ilerliyor. Kalem bıyık, gizli kalp. Herkesi gözlemle. Hastings tarafından verilmiş muhteşem bir kalem. Geç şimdi bunu. Bu gözlemleme işini nasıl yapacağız? Şey çıkmıyor, göz çıkmıyor.
I hope to concentrate on my guests. Franklin Clark always seems at ease, regardless of where he is. Something that's unique to people who travel.
Tamam, bunları yaptık.
Donald is always on edge.
Üzgün mü? Kara halkalar. Gergin eller.
Leave me alone.
Şurada bir yerde öt artık ya. Tıraş
Donald
kesin.
Fraser is very nervous at the moment, even if he is trying hard to control himself. She appears to have taken more care with her appearance than the last time.
Donald'a bakışlar. Kolye. Küpe.
She's looking at Mr. Fraser out of the corner of her eye. Did she make herself beautiful for him? Sometimes I love a brunette, sometimes I love a blonde.
Şarkını
That's
söylediği
what
gibi.
the song says. The song says, sometimes I love a blonde who comes from Eden by way of Sweden. But I am not sure that this blonde is an angel. I wish to thank you all for coming. I wanted to bring everyone close to the victims here in order to unmask the murderer.
Get to the point, Mr. Poirot. What do you want from us?
Megan'a bu toplantının sebebini sor. Megan'a acele etmemesini söyle.
Megan, dear girl, please be patient.
Mr. Poirot, how dare you address me by my first name?
Please excuse me, mademoiselle. What I ask is that you search your memories. The murderer must have left some trace.
Yes, he must have prepared his crimes very carefully.
Tout à fait. He did not get to Bexhill at midnight in order to strangle a young girl whose name by chance starts with P.
Must we go into that?
Küçük eşek. Konunun rahatsız ilgisi yarattığını kabul et. Donald'a kendine hakim olmasını söyle.
Mr. Fraser, please get a grip on yourself.
Well, I want to help you, but I don't remember anything else. Nothing I haven't already said.
And you, Mademoiselle Barnard, did your sister say if she was seeing another man?
She never would have told me.
Megan'ı teşvik et. Megan'a Betty'nin neden bir şey söylemediğini sor.
Why would she hide the fact from you?
Betty knew I didn't approve of her
Çok
behaviour.
ego bir
Her
aldık
flirting
ya.
was spoiling any chance she might have had.
Tell me, mademoiselle, what did you talk about with your sister?
Silly things. Her new dress. She wanted a pair of black stockings to go with it. Mother bought her a brand new pair. The day it happened, she was crying. And to think that Betty never even wore them. Poor mummy.
Your sister used to sing, I believe. Did she ever perform in public?
She dreamt about it, but she had a very bad cough. It troubled her greatly. She had to cancel auditions and miss lots of opportunities. A pity.
Yes, she sang well, but that doesn't tell us much about the murderer.
Qui sait?
Murder'a
In any case, we now have enough information to draw up a relatively precise psychological profile. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
çalıştıralım bakalım beyin hücrelerinizi. Sokak insanlarla doluyken öldürüldü. Çok cesurca. Mektup anda o cinayeti işgal eden. Katil düzenli ve suçun istikzazda ilginç imzasını geride bırakmayı da asla unutmaz. ABC olması da Bay Asher ve Bay Fraser'dan şüphelenmek ancak suçların imza altına imzasını atarak katilin bir bakıma ona cömertçe davranır. Adam onu boğduğu plaja götürünce Betty'yi baştan çıkardı. Bir yolculuk seferi saatte belki de katil trenleri seviyordur. Aslında eğer istersen bu cinayete bir daha bakalım. Katil mükemmellikçe yaptığı şeyleri görmelisin. Katil zeki mi? Zeki. Katil kendinden emin mi? Katil kendinden emin. Kendine güvenen. Katilin dikkat çeken bir yanı var mı? Dikkat çeken. Katil trenleri sever mi? Sever. Katil itici mi? Soğukkanlı. Katil cömert mi? Cömert.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we can now surmise without too much risk of error that our adversary is calculative, sure of himself, a seducer, of outstanding intelligence, that he has plenty of self-control, and that he likes railways. It's a good start. Other meetings may be necessary. I hope that you will be able to come back again.
Well, it's just that...
Mary'e yardım etmesini sağla. Mary onu neyi rahatsız ettiniz? Onda tren için yeterli para olmadığını söyle.
Is something bothering you, Mary?
Well, Mr. Poirot, you see, I don't know if I can come to London just like that.
It's normal that people helping with this inquiry should be reimbursed. Starting with you, Miss Drower. Please allow me to pay for your train tickets.
Oh, sir, I cannot accept.
But you must. Mademoiselle, I may not be rich, but my brother left a fortune which will be mine.
Mr. Clark, that's very generous of you.
Well, someone has to foot the bill. Mr. Poirot, would it be possible for you to come back to Devon? Lady Clark has expressed a wish to see you. We'll adjust her medicine so she'll not be too drowsy.
But of course, I shall come the day after tomorrow if it is convenient. Thank you all for coming. We will meet again soon.
Değil mi?
The meeting was most fruitful.
Niş şehri.
Really?
Hastings, I believe now we have everything we need to find a common point between the victims. Now it is time for us to use our grey matter. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Kurbanların ortak noktası ne? Megan Barnett'ın ifadesi. Betty Donald gibi başka erkeklerle de görüşüyordu. Kurbanların ortak noktası. Ceset hala sıcaktı. Betty ile Donald'la beraber çekildiği bir fotoğraf vardı. İki kurban eşir olarak isimlendirildi. İlk kurban. ABC yapacağız. Bayan Eşir öksürük ilacı aldı. Bayan Eşir'in sert bir kocası var. Donald sert bir adamdı. Betty'nin sesinde problemler vardı. Sir Carmichael'ın Clark'ın ünlü emeklilik doktoru. Ünlü emekli bir doktordu. Değil. Kurbanların ortak noktası. Bir saniye. Boğazdan gideceğiz. Betty öksürük ilacı aldı. Betty. Betty'nin sesinde problemler vardı. Sir Carmichael ünlü emekli bir doktordu. Bayan Eşir öksürük ilacı aldı. Boğaz. Üçünün ortak noktası. Tüm kurbanlar boğaz
The first two
hastalıklarından
victims suffered from bad throat, and that was precisely the specialty of the third victim, Dr. Clark.
We have a lead.
It would pay to take a closer look at the medical records of Dr. Clark's patients.
We'll do so during our next visit to Churston.
Evet,
I will do it myself, mon ami. You must remain in London just in case ABC sends us another letter.
Very well, as you wish.
Güzel. Çok iyi ilerlettik. Temiz.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Poirot.
10 Eylül
Lady Clark is waiting for you in her
Clark'ın
bedroom on the
konağı.
first floor. Please excuse me, I cannot stay for the interview. I have to take Miss Gray to the station to see our lawyer in Torquay.
Tara işim var öyle sor. Tara tatile mi gidiyor?
Are you leaving Churston for good?
Miss Gray very kindly stayed with me to settle my brother's affairs, but naturally she prefers to find a position in London.
Ah, très bien.
I'll be absent all morning, Mr. Poirot, but the nurse is coming soon. She's to ensure that the dose of medicine doesn't make our patient drowsy.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Have a nice trip, mademoiselle.
Hadi bakalım. Buradan bir egoyu kasayım. Sonra bölümü bitireceğim. Evet. Bakalım 4. bölümde katile adım adım yaklaşırken bizi ne tür bir maceralar bekliyor olacak. Hepsi ve daha fazlası 4. bölümde.